Okay, welcome to the video series on essay structure. The first one is about introduction. Okay, all essays communicate ideas, and all types of essays communicate all types of different ideas, but all essays have four basic parts: a thesis statement, an introduction, body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Okay, so a thesis statement is the idea your whole essay expresses. It's sometimes also called a claim. And for every type of essay, you need a thesis statement, no matter what kind of essay it is. And all of the ideas in your essay must support your thesis statement, no matter what kind of essay you're writing. And basically, a thesis statement is a subject plus an opinion, okay? And it can be quite easy to write this, actually. There's another video about how to come up with these ideas. And for our sample introduction, the thesis statement will be about school uniforms. School uniforms create more problems than they solve for students. That will be our thesis statement. Then we'll go on and talk about how to fit that into an introduction. Okay, and the introduction is the beginning of the essay. Your thesis statement belongs in the introduction. Some people say it should go near the beginning of the introduction. Some people say it should go at the end of the introduction. That is a style choice. Just as long as it is there, it doesn't matter where it goes. Usually it's not the first sentence, though. The first sentence is sometimes called a hook, and that should catch your reader's attention. It can be a question, it can be a statement in contrast to your thesis, kind of the opposite idea. It can be something funny, it can be a controversial statement, and the point is, it's going to make your reader want to keep reading your essay. And then, so what comes after that? Well, if you build your introduction well and you mention every topic you're going to be writing about in your essay, in your introduction, you've got a plan for your essay. I'll show you how that works. Okay, so the introduction, as I said, contains all the topics of the body paragraphs. And you should have an outline before you begin your essay, and there'll be another video about essay outlines as well. So check that one for your reference. Okay, in an introduction, okay, in an essay, say arguing against school uniforms, like we've talked about, you might have three main ideas in your outline. Okay, that means you're following the basic 5-paragraph essay structure that everybody learns. We've all learned it in high school. From prep through grade 9 and 10, you all know this structure. Introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Once you get into grade 10 and AP English and grade 11 English as well, you can kind of change this formula. For example, especially in the AP exam and with the essays you'll be reading for AP, you're not necessarily following the 5-paragraph structure. You can change it. You can do 3 paragraphs, you can do 2, they can be a bit longer, you can have a couple of short ones. You can start to play with the structure of the essay once you get used to writing them and arguing a point. So that's something you can think about as you go on and become a better essay writer. Okay, so for our purposes here, though, for our sample introduction, we've got 3 topics. School uniforms are expensive to buy, some of the items are uncomfortable to wear, and it's hard to feel like an individual when everyone is dressed the same. Okay, the order of these doesn't matter. You can put them in any order you want in your essay, just as long as you have your main ideas written down. Okay, so then we have an introduction, which can look like this, okay? Your hook is, school uniforms are presented as a solution for the school administration and students alike. There's a counter argument. So it's the first thing you say in your essay. It goes against what your essay is going to be about, okay? Which is an interesting way to start because it can show that you know both sides of the argument, which makes your argument maybe seem a little bit stronger, okay? So after the hook, then you introduce your topics. Some officials say it makes it easier for students of different economic levels to fit in because everyone has to wear the same things. Students who can't afford to buy trendy brands no longer worry about clothes budgets, but uniforms are actually really expensive. So the first thing we talk about in those 2 sentences actually is cost, the economics of school uniforms. And both of those say that that school uniforms are expensive, okay? So your first paragraph can address both of those ideas. You can have 2 separate sentences as well to introduce 1 paragraph because it actually can make it easier to express or make your language easier to explain. If you can't compress an idea into one sentence. Don't. Write 2 sentences so it will be more clear. Clearer than the explanation I just made, actually. Okay, then the second topic is this. Young people also like to use fashion to show who they are. The clothes can be a way to express yourself as an individual and experiment with identity, but uniforms do not allow for that at all. So there's your second paragraph topic. It's going to be about clothes and individuality. Of course, if everyone wears a uniform, you're not really expressing your individuality. Or you have to do it in very small ways, like with your socks or something. So you can talk about that in your second paragraph. And then the final topic. Although uniforms have become more casual recently, students often complain that the fabrics and styles of shirts and pants are uncomfortable and not easy to wear. So you can discuss comfort, okay? And these are all ideas I've heard students talk about when they're just talking about school uniforms anyway. And then our thesis statement is in purple at the bottom here. School uniforms can cause more problems for students than they solve when it comes to cost, comfort, and personal expression. We've expanded our ideas. We've shown our main topics in our thesis statement. That's possible to do as well. Not always totally necessary, but it does make it nice and strong and to the point. And then you can go back and look in your introduction when you're writing your essay and remember what it is you're talking about if you feel like you're wandering off topic. It's easy to do that in essays, actually. But with this kind of structure and formula, it becomes a lot easier. Okay, so now you have all your ideas in your introduction and you can go on to write your body paragraphs. Okay, there'll be a whole other video about how to do that specifically. But, okay, we'll review again the ideas that your body paragraphs will be about. First one will be about the economics, about how uniforms are expensive, even though school officials say it levels things out because, you know, if you can't afford trendy brands, you don't have to worry about it anymore. Well, that's your first paragraph. Second paragraph, individualism and fashion. You can't experiment with your identity or express your identity through experimentation with clothes if you wear a uniform. And although all uniforms have become more casual, students complain fabrics and styles are uncomfortable and not easy to wear. So your third paragraph will be strictly about the wearability of school uniforms. So there's 3 good topics that all show how uniforms can cause problems for students, which is your thesis statement. Okay, so everything is layered in your introduction, okay? All your ideas are there in your introduction. You've got a blueprint now for your whole entire essay. Makes it much, much easier to just carry on and write your body paragraphs later. Okay, there'll be a separate presentation on body paragraphs as well. There's going to be a few videos in this series, so you can go back and refer to them. It would be useful before exams and before you have writing assignments. Okay, and that's it. That's all you need to know about introductions. That's not too bad, is it? I think it can be very helpful if you have a good plan and a good opening to your essay. The rest of the essay will happen much more easily and naturally. Very easy. There you go. Essays aren't as intimidating as you thought. Good luck.